Let's begin our second best of three here at the Mid-Season Cup 2025 here at the Esports World Cup live in Riyadh. CFU will be battling against Onyx from the blue side as Onyx will attack from the red. It's going to be a purple start for both of these junglers, but let's expound on the compositions, right? Because again, a very classic matchup we're seeing nowadays is Yi Xin versus some form of tank-style jungler. And usually what happens is that Yi Xin gets a couple levels ahead of their opponents.
Whoa, Sands flickers out, and that's a first blood for Opie. Keyboy will take a brunt of the damage, but he's gonna be fine. Man, early start for CFU.
Very early start, and Boxy even committing the flicker to it. So really nicely done. Sing also using his Inspire pretty early on against Severo. He's trying to get an early lead. Severo just needs to survive.
Yeah. You know, going back to that as well, the YSS, I feel like in the main part is you always have that added benefit of vision, but then when you come to his rotation and his actual jungle speed, he should have an easy time against Detective here on the Fredgen, right?
Well, for the time being, as long as he doesn't get CC'd to the ground, right? If he gets hit by the energy eruption, that's when we start to have problems. As long as he maintains his traceless, it's all good, all fun and games. But now with the changes to the jungle, that it takes a little bit longer these days for these camps to respawn. There's a bit of dead air after the clear. And that's where mid suddenly becomes a huge priority. And CFU, they're ready for this, right? They've got Detective in position. Hopefully, Sans opens up the map, sees it, and now Keyboy getting attacked.
Okay, Keyboy gonna go ahead and slide on out. He's fine. The rest of the team's gonna respond though. Kyrie will take a couple shots off, but again, that's a Fredren. The turtle's up though, so this is where we get to see how they play this out. As they get in position, you expect the Fredren to have control of this. It's CFU that's actually going to zone out Onyx from this first objective, and it looks like that's going to be secured for CFU. Sands, once again, will find himself pretty low. Look how aggressive Opie and Detective and everyone else is being. They're going to force him off the purple buff. They go in. Keyboy falls. They get another. It's a double for Wadu. CFU knows the enemy, and they'll go ahead and duke it on out on this side of the jungle. A triple already for Wadu.
Beautifully played from CFU. You can just see the hours of scrimmage time that both CFU and Onyx ID have given to each other. And CFU recognize, hey, we've got to lead. We must press the advantage. Severo might find a solo kill. What? It just goes into the air, Sing out of range.
Oh, Severo, he's going to get just punished for that. I guess he thought he could pick up the kill, but doesn't have enough damage yet.
He should have been able to pick up the kill. It's just that last darkening shot didn't connect because Zing was just out of range. I think that Severo might have had to commit a flicker, but that would have felt so bad. Either way, he's missing out on that solo kill. Kind of sucks. CFU now 5-0 against Onyx ID. This is going phenomenally for CFU Gaming.
Hey man, if it had anything to do with the war cry we heard earlier on, that might be the buff here for them in game one. Already 2.4K ahead. And with this kind of lead, this is going to set things up really well into even the next turtle here. So Onyx, they're going to have to find themselves building up, you know, from this deficit early on. Now, can they do that with this lineup? It might have to be a pick-off, a flicker, an aggressive play. Once again, going to be able to find the mark on Kyrie as Kyrie falls. CFU once more. They're going to just jump in. They know the timings too. They'll take the purple buff.
Amazing play. Really great from Boxy's side. He sees the traceless. The turtle bolt gets thrown from the mountain shocker. It misses Boxy. Flickers in to yoink him and pull him out of position, knowing that he's got literally no battle spells to save him because he's the jungler. He has to take retribution. And with traceless on cooldown, it guarantees the kill with CFU Gaming corralling around that mid lane. It's working out perfectly, right? Every fight. Wait, hold on.
Oh, Boxy could be in trouble this time. Right now, enough damage. Onyx will get on the board. They might be in position to go ahead and secure themselves to an objective. They desperately need this from the game getting too out of hand. Swadu up on the front side. They're going to spot that out. He flickers forward with it onward and goes forward in. Two will fall from Onyx again. CFU is just on point with the fights and initiations, and now Sans in trouble. He has nowhere to go. He does flicker out. A good setup though, but still going to be alive now. Detective on the backside gets a flicker out from Severo. He'll dodge that. But again, the objective going over to CFU.
Oh my goodness, Wadu is so good on these Earth Shatter Flickers. He is a dangerous man when he has Flicker in hand, making sure that Lupi basically was non-existent during that fight, right? He's supposed to be the one who buys time, but it gets Chain CC to the ground. Right now, the coordination from CFU Gaming is immaculate.
Oh, again, this is a tough spot to be in for Onyx and Tunisia. It looks like sometimes, you know, they're able to go ahead and convert something, but then that was just one setup, one kill that they were able to get. They don't really have that many tools to go for a pickoff in comparison to what CFU has.
That's completely true, right? Again, you're expecting Keyboy to kind of get into that position. However, in terms of like raw damage, it really boils down to Kyrie, right? He's going to be the early game damage for now. Sans, yes, he can do some damage, but he's not like overwhelming like a Farsa or in this case the Kimmy. It's just not comparable. Even Severo to a certain degree, he's got a bit of damage, but he really needs his items. And in terms of tempo, CFU Gaming, because of that initial purple buff steal, they know exactly where Kyrie is going to be 90% of the time, and they're utilizing that information to make sure that Onyx ID don't have an opportunity to actually attack. See, even making sure that they lane swap to ensure, hey, they're going to be playing for that Lunox now. Wadu, if you can clear these lanes, that's perfect, because we're going to get T1 down bot side.
Yeah, just as you say it, that's going to be fallen here. They're going to get in position for this third turtle of the game, last one. I'm not sure how Onyx is going to play that, though. Now, this time around, Keyboy, once again, he'll have the Flicker to go ahead and try to set things up, but that might still be the case if Kyrie can't get in position and you're too worried about going down for that fight. Okay, there goes... Keyboy doesn't have the ultimate anymore. So this is a tough one to go ahead and fight because, again, you're lacking that firepower, and the further behind you get in terms of this gold again, an initiation with a Tsunami Slam. They're going to force the fight anyway, but Onyx will try to fight back, and Appraiser's Wrath finds a couple, but the crossbow of Tang will find Keyboy. Zing picks up, Severo in trouble as well, can escape Wadu, and CFU Gaming continues to dominate.
God dang, man, CFU Gaming. They're not here to mess around. They want to make sure that they are sweeping the floor with Onyx ID. Every play they have made so far is so good. They initiate immediately, baiting out the last couple of ultimates from the side of Onyx. Most importantly, Sans one. The Fury of the Phoenix is such a powerful tool when you engage, but it's also a great disengage tool. However, at the end of it, Zing was able to get into that crossbow of Tank form to apply massive amounts of damage to Onyx ID, especially pre-8 minutes. So at this point, with a 6.8k lead about to turn into a 7k lead, CFU Gaming just need one more fight and one more tower to break into the 10k bracket.
This is insane of a lead and the start for CFU. But a phenomenal one at that, and Wadu has been locked in the entire game. Every single time he goes for that setup with the, if his Flicker's available or not, he's on point with the Earth Shatters. Now they're going to fight in between the two turrets, forcing a Flicker out, Tsunami Slam, easy pickup, Lupi falls. Meanwhile, up top, Kyrie has no choice but to push in that tier 1 turret. They need something and anything, because right now CFU is taking everything. Tier 2 is going to fall in the mid lane as well. Everybody quite low from Onyx. They have no choice but just to watch.
Yep, CFU Gaming understand if we don't close out this game, the scaling for the side of Onyx ID is going to be a major problem down the line, especially with the Yi Xin on top of having the Lunox side by side. For now, if we have to break it down, I think that CFU Gaming, once they hit that 10k mark, it's going to be good. But the wave clear might be a little bit of an issue, right? CFU Gaming cannot start falling behind, and they can't let the game extend super late. The pickoff is going to begin. Again, using tempo. Look at this.
Wow, Traction Pulse and Tsunami Slam. Able to find one. Keyboy will jump in, but it's just way too much damage. Overloading Onyx as another pickup here for CFU. And the Lord is up. Perfect timing. They're all up and alive and healthy. They'll make their way to the Lord.
Yeah, CFU Gaming making sure that every interaction with Onyx is a winning interaction. That's how this composition must progress forward. And Onyx just starved out a lot of their resources. Divide and Conquer, says CFU, as they take this Lord while breaking the Holy Shielding.
Great juggling happening here from CFU. Very impressive once again. Start off to this best of 3 series. I think even Onyx is kind of just left wondering what's going on here. They don't, even if they try to stay under the turrets, they're forced to fight anyway. And that's why that Kalea from Boxy is so good. And this might be, again, the effect of Boxy going back into the roam role. allowing them to have that decision making on their side. And what a great showcase it's been so far.
I think we really just, unfortunately, Onic ID just doesn't have much of an answer to the early game. They just needed to not interact, but CFU Gaming said no, force them into their position, force them into a position where they have to interact with them all the time. They can't run away from these fights, and neither can they disengage. So therefore, Onic ID
again. Boxy jumps in with a Tsunami Slam, finds Loopy after missing the Traction Pulse. OP's gonna pick up the kill anyway. Boxy finally goes down, but Kairi quite low, could be in trouble. They can clear out the wave up bottom. Mid turret already down, but they won't get more. CFU with a 12,000 gold lead. It looks like they're going to stay a little bit longer, but Onic might have been able to hold on a little bit longer for this game one.
I mean, the breathing room for Onic ID is just running out. They're losing space. Wadu, keep your eyes on him. He's got Flicker.
Oh, Wadu. Brilliance is going to be used. They're just trying to clear out the waves here as they do. So Onic, despite everything else, will stay in this game.
That's a checkmate angle right now achieved by CFU Gaming. 12.3K, the biggest lead we've seen so far here at MSC 25. As we can see, even for Onic Indonesia, how do they find an angle, right? Every single attack they have, there is some form of counterplay. Sing can go invulnerable with the crossbow of Tang, not to mention that she also has an inbuilt Purify, making it more effective against the raw CC coming out from the side of Indonesia. Boxy, whoever he picks off at this point is almost guaranteed to die. The damage coming in from OP is ridiculous. The stacks that he has, he's 6 and 10, 0 deaths.
Oof, again, Boxy, big enough threat. Jumps on in, Traction Pulse gonna find multiple members! A great setup under the base turret! Loopy gonna be able to fall in, it's a wipeout, a maniac for OP! That's game one, dominant for CFU Gaming.